Okay, we're going to open up the meeting with a silent meditation and prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, good evening. We have our council meeting of December 8th. It's the Feast of the Immaculate Conception. Hopefully people of faith Catholic faith went to Mass. But it's this evening we have Ken Ferris, our solicitor, along with our top solicitor there, Joe Pizzo. We have our engineer, Phil Wersta. We have our secretary, Debbie McBreen. We have Michelle Benitez. We have Stacy Champion. We have Joe Polari and myself, Joe Knowles, as counsel. The first thing on the agenda is recognition of the Valley Athletic Association 14U softball champions. Okay? Let me jump over here real fast. We knew we had a tight schedule, but we wanted to fit the girls in. So we have Coach Mike Gagert, is it? Gagert. Here, come on up, Mike. Okay, and Elliot, excuse me? Elliot, how you doing, buddy? Just check. Do you want to read the girls' names out? We'll give them out. Okay, so you not here. Kelly Marlowe not here. Okay. David Ditmar. David. I said these girls are 14, right?
Oh, no, stay up here. Stay up.
Yeah, stay up here. Molly Esposito. Not here. Isabella Lane. Who is Isabella? Isabella Hinkle. Yes, there she is. Not here. Okay. Lexi Blue Tampo. Oh, there she is. There she is. Okay. Nyla Scalzi. Have the short girls, not too many short girls, have the small girls. That's you. The girls that, the other girls, that's you. There you go. Congratulations.
All right. Everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, girls.
Okay. Coach would like to make a speech. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. You can say a few words about the girls. Yeah, that's good. Yep.
I'm not prepared for this. That's unusual, right? Thank you for this honor. Joe,
What's
it's
your
been
season like?
Oh, it was good. We were 15-2.
Wow, that's great.
Congratulations.
We won our last 12, 11 games in a row, something like that. Once we got started, it was a 3-county league. There's teams from Philadelphia, Montgomery, and Bucks, and the girls did fantastic. They did a great job.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Who did you beat in the championship?
15-2. Where was it in-house or did you play others?
It's called the
Pennsbury? Nice job.
Okay, good.
It's teams from 3 counties.
Okay, great. Okay, and then quickly, congratulations. Yeah. Okay, and then quickly also, we're moving right along here, and this is a good example for the young ladies that are here. I would like to present our council member, Michelle Benitez, with a plaque for her service to the community, 2022-2025. That's actually the end of your, not the end of your service, but you've done a lot of service for the community. But this is the award for service. And then we have Miss Stacy Champion, S-T-A-C-E-Y, okay, Stacy Champion. And this is a thank you from the township for your dedicated service to the community 2022 to 2025. Open up Joe's here, sorry about that. And then we have a special plaque here presented to Joseph Polari in recognition of his, it's hard to read actually here, in recognition of his 29 years of service as a council member. Thank you for your dedication, your service and contribution to the community, which started as a fireman in Bensalem Township and ended up with 29 years, one of our longest serving council people. Thank you, Joe.
I just want to wish congratulations to all the young ladies. It's a great feat. Keep doing great things and keep on winning. And good luck in the rest of your sports career and your regular careers, whatever you may choose to do.
That's a great job. Okay. Thanks, ladies. Thanks for coming out. Thanks. Also, we have public comment, which is limited to agenda items, okay, on this evening's agenda. We will have an opportunity at each item to speak, okay? But before we get started, also, I would like to turn to Mr. Pizzo in reference to some changes on the agenda this evening. Mr. Pizzo?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Knowles. Items 7 and 9 on this evening's agenda. Item 7 being consideration of an ordinance amending the zoning map of the township to rezone tax parcel 2-70-01. And item 9, which is the consideration of a text amendment to the township zoning ordinance at sections 232-58, 232-259, and 232-260. Those two items at the request of the property owner and applicant are going to be tabled this evening. I have not received a formal written request, but I understand counsel for the property owner is present, and that would be Mr. McGinnis. So if you would, Mr. Knowles, allow Mr. McGinnis to make the request to table on the record.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you, Mr. Pizzo. Mike McGinnis here on behalf of the landowner and applicant. Mr. Pizzo has correctly stated that upon presentation at the Planning Commission last month and receiving some of the comments that were voiced both by the neighbors and by the members of the Planning Commission, we are at this time going to be further analyzing this property and the layout. I don't think we need a MPC waiver request, given that this is a discretionary action on the behalf of council this evening. But we are going to be, again, analyzing this property moving forward, and at which time that we think we're ready to proceed with a altered version of this plan, we will then either present that back to the township or have a meeting with the neighbors to discuss what we're envisioning at that time. So we are not presenting that this evening. We are not requesting a vote either with respect to the map amendment or with respect to the text amendment.
So just to clarify, this is the De La Salle property outside Wellington Estates.
That's correct.
So this is going to be reconsidered by you as the applicant, and any further plans for the property will be presented in 2026.
In the new year, that's correct.
In 2026. Okay, so, Mr. Pizzo, do you have anything else to add, or?
No, if council, it would be appropriate at this time to make a motion to table items 7 and 9 from this evening's agenda. You won't be tabling them to a date certain. The applicant is going to be reassessing its plans for the development of the property, and so at such time as the applicant may decide to move forward and a rezoning and/or text amendment would be necessary, they will resubmit notices, and the matter would again be publicly advertised, as well as notices to all of the adjacent property owners, consistent with what happened this evening.
Make a motion to approve as presented by Mr. Pizzo.
Item number 7 and number 9, correct?
Item number 7 and 9, thank you.
Okay.
I'll second the motion.
Second motion, all in favor? Aye. Any against? Okay. So
you.
anything in reference to the De La Salle property, the property outside Wellington Estates, if you're here for that, it won't be discussed further this evening. You could stay for public comment if you wanted to, but it will be discussed, I would imagine, at the planning stage and at the council stage in 2026, and it'll be publicly, you'll be publicly notified at that time. Okay? All right, thank you. We'll give you a second if anybody wants to.
I'm going to give it to you.
Good, good, good. She'll love it. What's that? The plaque he's going to give it to her. She loves her karate, doesn't she? Okay, just want to give them a second to clear if they need to clear. Okay, number 4 on the agenda is a lot line change for James Mai Trong and Deshisha Dawson, 2647 and 2645 Lincolnia Avenue. Joe, I think this is a lot line change between two properties that are agreeing to this, but you can let me know.
Yes, that's correct. This is a lot line change application for the two properties you just indicated, Mr. Knowles, 2647 Lincolnia Ave and 2645 Lincolnia Ave.
Evening,
Okay,
members of the
Are
board.
you here for the applicant? Yeah.
Yes, Ronald Isgay, counsel for both applicants, Mai Trong and James Dawson.
Okay, that's good. You're counsel for both.
Yes,
That
sir.
was my next question. You know? Okay, that's good. So both parties are agreement for this lot line change
Yes, sir,
between the
correct.
properties. Okay, and they've both been notified.
Yep.
Okay, so this seems pretty simple when they have both people agreeing on both sides of the property. And basically, it's so that both properties can have their own lots with the house.
Yes, as you can see from the drawing, I can bring up a photo of it. Somehow, in the distant past, the lot line is actually through the garage of the 45 property.
Okay.
So we don't know how, why, or.
That's okay, that's okay. I just wanted to
Yeah,
clarify.
everybody's in agreement on it. It's just moving it over to bring both lots in conformity.
I just wanted to
There's no
clarify
variances
publicly
or
why
anything.
we were doing it.
Yep,
That's okay.
that's it.
Okay, so we're not asking for anything?
No,
Okay,
sir.
so is there a motion from council to approve this lot line change as presented?
I'll
Yes,
make a motion to approve the lot line change request for tax parcels 02007059 and 02007060.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor? Aye, any against? Any abstains? Okay, so that's good. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
very
coming
much. Have a
out.
great evening.
All right. Okay, next on the agenda is Votek Kanowski, care of 1186 Byberry Road, LP, 1186 Byberry Road, the residential 8 lots. Mr. McGinnis, your hand on this?
I am, thank you.
While Mr. McGinnis is setting up, Mr. Knowles, I will just remind council that this application for this property, there was a question of zoning variances relative to the property, going back several years. Ultimately, the issue went before the Township Zoning Hearing Board. Zoning Hearing Board denied the variances necessary for what was then a proposal to construct twins on the site. Subsequently, the matter went up to Common Pleas Court on April 8th of 2025. An order of court was entered granting the variances necessary for the construction of 8 singles on the property, consistent with the layout that's being displayed on the screen above. The order of court, however, required the applicant to nonetheless go through land development application review and approval. The township has undertaken the review of the land development application, and it is at this time before you for your consideration. I've been presented copies of the certificate of service by the property owner, confirming that the required notices went out to adjacent property owners, and those notices appear to be in order.
Thank you, Mr. Pizzo.
Okay.
Mike McGinnis from Begley Carlin here tonight on behalf of the property owner, which is 1186 Byberry Road, LP. My client has owned this property at this point for over a decade. I've been working with the township to try to have a positive, productive development here. The underlying site is approximately 3.5 acres, and it is zoned in the RA1 district. It's one of only a couple properties which is zoned that way in the area, the vast majority of which are either R1, R2, or R3. And Mr. Pizzo has succinctly recited sort of the procedural history of this property. It's gone through a number of different proposals over the years. The proposal that came before the zoning hearing board, as Mr. Pizzo noted, proposed the construction of 16 twins on the property. That proposal was denied by the zoning hearing board, and it was then appealed, and the result of that appeal was essentially this plan, which was a revision to reduce the 16 twins and replace the 16 twins with 8 single-family detached dwellings. There would be 9 lots which would be approved and created as part of the subdivision. As you can see before you, the 9th lot is a stormwater lot, and the access to these homes would be through a private drive, which would be managed by an association, as well as obviously the stormwater facilities. The lot sizes are, I would suggest, appropriately sized, ranging from just over 10,000 square feet to approximately 14,197 square feet. One of the things that I would like to update council on was some of the discussions and alterations which have occurred during the part of this development. While the layout is static, there have been some improvements that we have made in conjunction with the Planning Commission and some consultation and feedback that was received at that time. Specifically, Mr. Havers, who's with me, is going to address this in a second, but you can see on a landscape plan, there is a hedgerow that we are proposing to plant both on the plan north and the plan south, which provides some additional landscape buffering from both of the adjacent properties. I know the plan north, there's a pool, and it was expressed to the Planning Commission that there were some buffering concerns there, and we've agreed to plan and would have this memorialized on a landscape plan, certainly as a condition of approval, the trees which would provide the buffering from that property. I've also confirmed with my client that if it's desired by the neighbors and by council. We have no objection as well on the property boundary to installing a fence and having that noted as a property feature depicted on a approved land development plan as an additional buffer if that's required. In consultation with the fire marshal's office, we have agreed to have a no parking notation on the bulb of the cul-de-sac as well as on one side of the street, which will, of course, make it safe for EMS vehicles to traverse the private lane. We are also going to have a painted curb in an area that Mr. Havers can highlight in a second. And then one of the waiver requests, which we were initially seeking as part of the development, was for no sidewalks to be installed along the property frontage. We had always proposed sidewalks along the interior of the development, but it was pretty, I would say, static and firm feedback at the Planning Commission, as is consistent with a lot of residential development in Bensalem, to desire sidewalks along the property frontage as well, and therefore we have withdrawn that as a waiver request and are agreeable to install sidewalks, again, both along the interior and along the exterior. What that has done is it put us in a position, and we can discuss it in a second, where the waiver requests that we're asking for are actually very, very minimal, far more minimal than most residential developments, I would suggest, that come before council for consideration. So we think the end result of this is going to be, we believe, a productive, positive development here. We think that the township has really met us in the middle, considering the initial ask with the 16 dwelling units as compared to the 8 single-family dwellings, and we hope that you see that we have taken some of the feedback and consideration to try to ameliorate any of the concerns that have been raised to us during the process. And we think at the end of the day, we'll have a homeowners association that's formed that will manage the common areas appropriately. We can have a condition of approval or other items that are depicted on the plan to ensure the landscaping or fencing, if that's desired, maintains in perpetuity. And the end result would be 8 nice single-family homes. My clients construct very nice single-family dwellings throughout the county. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Havers, have an appreciative note on the township of working in a collaborative way to hopefully get us to a point of a successful project. Mark will go over the layout to the extent I haven't covered it, and then we'd be happy to address the waivers we're seeking and answer any questions that council may have. Thank you.
Good evening. Mike generally covered the layout. As he said, 8 homes, a cul-de-sac, private drive. There's a stormwater facility in the rear, I'll call it plan, the top left corner. As well, there's rain gardens behind all the houses. This controls about 2 acres of off-site drainage that flows through the property where there's no controls today. We'll reduce, for small storms, approximately 50% in half. It's around 4 now. It'll be 2 after it's done. The larger storms, the reduction is about 80% reduction in the flow coming through. So it's a significant reduction for on-site as well as the off-site water that's handling. As Mike mentioned, we've talked with the fire marshal, submitted plans to him. He's approved having one side of the road with no parking as well as no parking in the cul-de-sac. The fire truck's able to go in, maneuver, and go out. The one side would be no parking signs and a painted curb. If there's any questions about the layout or,
The rain gardens,
yes,
how will they be maintained?
the association would maintain them.
And if they don't maintain them, what is the result? Mr. Pizzo?
The developer, as part of the requirements of township approval, will be entering into a stormwater facilities maintenance and monitoring agreement with the township. And as part of that, together with the township's MS4 requirements, the applicant will be required to routinely maintain the storm gardens as well as the stormwater, all those the stormwater management facilities. They'll be subject to routine inspection and reporting by the township, and should the applicant fail or any of the subsequent property owners / homeowners fail to properly maintain them, the township has the right to enter onto the property to perform whatever maintenance, repairs might be necessary to make sure that the facilities are functioning properly and as designed, and all costs of the township would then be leaned against the property until paid by the homeowner.
I have one question on the plan shown up ahead. The items in blue, is that the rain gardens at the back end where the property lines are going through?
Yes.
Or- So you're going to have rain gardens where people can potentially put fences up?
No, no, no. Are you?
Can you point somehow with a,
Yeah.
So the rain gardens here, I don't know, the blue or purple is the hedgerow.
Trees
Yes.
behind it.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're in front of the hedges.
yeah, so if somebody puts a fence up in between those properties, it'll be going through the rain garden?
They wouldn't be allowed to put a fence through the rain garden.
So basically, you're saying nobody can ever fence their own property in?
I guess essentially they can fence up to the rain garden and across, but there's, part of the stormwater agreement sort of says you're not allowed to do anything in the rain garden, so they could not put a fence the whole way back.
Well, there's hedges behind the rain gardens.
That's not the hedges, I'm talking about the rain garden, I'm not.
Yeah,
No, the blue behind them, though, there's.
there could be a
Yeah,
fence.
but if you look, the property line's going right through the rain
Yeah,
garden.
she's saying that
Oh, in
that each
between-
owner
in
couldn't
between,
have their
yeah,
own
yeah.
yard
Yeah, I
fenced
understand what
in,
you're saying. I'm
essentially.
sorry. I see them now, sorry. Okay. Well, that's something you're going to have to disclose, right? That-
Yes, yeah, it would be on the plans, everybody would see it on the plans.
And the rain
realize
gardens
that.
are, I mean, they have plants and stuff in them?
Correct,
planting in
correct,
them?
it's essentially it's wildflowers and things like that, the water absorbs into the ground, it's a
Then the back right-hand corner, that's a regular
standard
drainage?
basin, it'll probably be a wetland basin, so it'd be planted as well.
And we're doing the rain gardens because, if you don't mind,
Two reasons, one, it's water quality to meet the NPDES requirements, and it also helps us to control that off-site water.
Could they not be repositioned where people would not be interrupted in having their own yard for their single home?
The thought was essentially if you put it right in somebody's backyard, then your whole backyard's gone. This way you're taking half, you still have a portion of the backyard, and half of it is on your property, half it's on the adjacent property. It's all maintained by the association.
But you're kind of making their property feel like community space with them not being able to have any privacy in
It's a
their
common
yard.
practice that everybody has rain gardens or seepage
I
beds.
love rain gardens. I
They
love
all
that.
have them, they're on every lot, so there's
Mike
some
knows.
area on your lot
the
that you
roof.
can't use.
Roof gardens too. Let's do it.
going across property lines.
You know,
But I mean,
but
How often
but
is it
it's-
going across
yeah,
property
that's-
lines?
They're going to have to accept that that's.
Right, I mean,
Yeah.
they'll have to agree to that, but it just
Mm-hmm.
seems like there could be a better way to lay that out in order to
Again, if they
avoid that
were
issue.
Each on, right behind everybody's house, on their own lot, you would have no space behind your house.
It's
Well-
only one lot, correct?
No,
In that
it's-
one lot?
Every
No,
lot.
It's
Each
every
lot,
single lot
the
is
lines
sharing
are
a
going-
rain
There's
garden,
6
Joe.
The lines are going through each one.
They have 6 of them,
The six clouds, like cloud-looking
Behind.
thing behind the houses.
yeah.
And the,
But the blue is where all the water's going to be stored, right?
no, but they still have to have the rain garden, they can't have a fence.
Right. Which would be in the back between each home.
Well, it's good, it has to be put to the people that are buying, and if they agree to it, then
Yeah,
what's the
that's what I
problem?
think, too.
You know
That's
what
what
I
I
mean?
I'm just-
We've done
it's
this,
just-
we've done this time and time again in my 29 years here.
There's-
And that It was the problem, that people knew that what they were buying and what they were getting. And a lot of people like having their rain gardens. They have flowers, they have all kinds of nice
Yeah.
things to look at, and not just the water. So I don't see an issue with it, me personally, so.
And
it's
they
just
do
my-
cost, that there is privacy with them too, so you could go up to them. I mean, animals could run through them or something, but you couldn't get it. But you can go right up to it.
Yeah, with the HOA, are they going to be maintaining the property as far as lawn care too? Like
I
snow
don't believe
removal and
so.
lawn? I mean, so then it would make sense not to have fences in between.
Well, no, he's saying now that the HOA wouldn't be maintaining the property.
You know, generally speaking, a homeowners association's responsibility is to maintain common features, and we obviously want to make sure that the stormwater features are maintained throughout Bensalem Township. So it would be the association's responsibility to maintain the stormwater, Mr. Pizzo noted, which gives the township enforcement rights,
Right.
and then also the private driveway. When it comes to general lawn area, while there wouldn't be a prohibition if it was agreed upon or desired by the association to maintain people's private lawns. Typically, private lawns are not maintained by an association because the same impetus or the same concerns regarding maintenance of a driveway or maintenance of stormwater facilities is not implicated necessarily on a lawn, although an association would have in its documentation, which would be provided to Mr. Pizzo and Mr. Ferris's office, enforcement rights, obviously, if a lawn is not maintained in an appropriate condition. Typically, there's not an association that hires one, for single-family homes anyway,
Right.
one maintenance company, but that wouldn't be a preclusion, but it wouldn't be a mandate typically for an 8-lot, single-family development. And as I indicated, a fence line to the rear could be installed, but yes, Ms. Champion, you're correct that the layout with the rain gardens, you would not envision somebody, although I guess theoretically you could have a fence that's installed with gates. I would assume that people who are living here are not going to have a side yard fence between the 8 units.
And you're going to take care of the sidewalks and the curbing too. That would be the HOA, not the individual
That's
people.
correct.
And you were able to, with the water management system, the stormwater management system that you did put in there, minus 30% on the 100-year storm and minus 27% on the
Well, right.
50-year storm.
And that's the other piece that Mr. Havers was mentioning, and he's
Yeah.
probably better equipped to answer this than I am, but for any development project in the township, we want to do whatever we can to maximize the stormwater control. So I'm sure in addition to the basin, the rain gardens are going to also have on-lot controls to mitigate any stormwater
And then
flow.
the purple things are additional bushes or trees, and then along the back too, so the people.
Correct.
So the people that live behind the cul-de-sac, that the adjacent street that backs up to it, they're gonna have buffering at the bottom of the cul-de-sac also, right?
Yeah, we're trying to maximize the tree planting to the greatest extent possible on the site. And as I indicated, our clients are amenable if there's a request for some additional buffering or fencing. We want to make sure that we can have as much green space on this property as possible.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if I,
Go ahead.
so in terms of the fencing on both sides, would it go all the way down the entire property line?
Well, I think the only thing we would want to make sure, particularly to the rear, and Mark, you can answer this.
Not necessarily around stormwater management, but the,
Yeah, we would want to make sure that any of the existing larger trees, particularly to the rear, are situated in a way that they wouldn't be disturbed. Our conversation, and I can discuss with my client, but our conversations were more envisioning the plan south and the plan north in the rear of those homes, if that was something that council.
behind the homes, that's where I was talking about.
Right,
I'm not
yeah,
referring to
yes.
stormwater.
Then correct.
And also in relation to the landscaping that you're talking about, would these be fast-growing trees, and would it be definitely in all the documents, or would it be willing to work with the neighbors on either side if they also wanted new plantings on their sides, if this were to be approved, that they would have those plantings put in, that they would request?
In terms of the tree plantings, I think that's something, if the township is concerned about additional enforcement rights, we can have that as part of, it would be part of a landscaping plan that could be recorded, but it could also be part of the association responsibility in terms of the maintenance of those trees, instead of being a single lot fee owner responsibility, so that would be part of, I would suggest anyway, we could make the boundary trees part of the association responsibility for maintenance.
Because I can see people taking the trees down, and then you have issues with whomever may be living there, who,
Right.
if they're currently living, if there's new homeowners at either property, sometime in the future, to be sure that these are maintained, because we all know people take trees down. And that is one of my largest concerns. That's why I was asking if there was anything for the north and south in terms of doing something on their property to ensure that it's almost a double boundary.
I don't think that we can
Put
make
trees
them
on
put
the
trees on somebody else's property, because then if the tree falls down, they go after the owner of the property, which we're agreeing to. I don't believe that we've ever done that, and I don't believe that's something that can be done.
Okay, it was
Mr.
just a question,
I
just
think
thinking.
if we have the landscaping and the trees as part of the association documentation, that becomes a feature in the development, unlike any other substantive
gonna be
feature in a
harder for
development
them to
that you
take the
can't
trees
modify without the association's.
And if
well,
it's down, it has to go back in,
Has to
something
go back
of
in.
the same.
And it also will mitigate some costs on an individual property owner than if there's a tree that has an issue that comes out of the association rather than the pocket of an individual property owner to replace because it's the association's responsibility.
Okay, Mr. McGinnis, we can continue question if we need be, but I wanted to ask you, the waiver request that you have September 10, 2025, the separate sheet that you passed out, there's 4 waivers that you're basically asking for, and also, this is a preliminary and final, correct?
Correct. So Mr. Knowles, there were 4 waivers that were identified. I did note, as you stated correctly, one item that is not on that sheet is the preliminary final request, which would be at 201-43C5. And then the last item that I don't know whether council would couch this as a waiver or not, but there's a fee in lieu of recreation that we're agreeable to pay on the site. So we don't have that listed as a waiver, but we would state for the record that we're agreeable to the fee in lieu of rec as well.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
recreation.
this is the full list of the waivers that we're asking for, and we can go through them individually if you'd
And
like.
then we have to add anything that the fire marshal's office is requesting, yellow paint and.
Right, and that wouldn't be a waiver.
Anything
but that-
added to the plan that needs to be.
Yeah, that's a
added to-
condition of approval that we've agreed to.
Okay, and then are there sidewalks and curbs that you're not putting in, or are they included?
No, we're installing the sidewalks and
Okay,
curbing.
so recreation fee then.
And then
Okay.
I'll note, because it's couched as a full waiver and you've inquired, the waiver request with respect to street trees, which is at 201-106, as you might be able to see on Mr. Haver's plan, we are planning all of the street trees that are required along the property frontage. The street trees that we aren't planning fully, you can see they're sort of hollowed out on the plan. There's a requirement in the ordinance that they be every 20 feet. We're maximizing all the street trees that we can plant there. It's the existence of the driveway and some of the utilities that do not permit us to adhere to that 20-foot spacing, but it's just on the inside. So we are honoring it on the exterior, on the property frontage, and we are really maximizing it on the inside. We're trying to plant basically a tree in every inch of this property that we could along the cul-de-sac and the roadway. So we have it as a waiver, but I did want to clarify, we are complying with the requirements on the frontage, and on the interior, it's really a partial waiver.
Okay. Do we have any other questions from council, or should we go to give the opportunity for people to come and speak for or against the
Just
plan?
one more comment
Yeah,
in
go
terms
ahead.
of what he was just speaking about. So, Mr. McGinnis, all of the trees around the stormwater management and outside of, on the individual properties are in front. The ones along the frontage to Byberry Road, and then all the other ones, inclusive of the ones going along the property to the north and the property to the south on the back side of the proposed new houses. Could we potentially make sure that that is in there, that that's all the responsibility, that something should always be there in terms of the
Absolutely.
HOA agreement?
Absolutely.
More specifically, I shouldn't say more specifically. I know we talked very much about the north and the south. I want to make sure that the frontage contains whatever they have there from that perspective. Again, we know people take trees down and don't replace them.
Yes, and I would suggest, as is customary with residential development, we will provide the association documentation to Mr. Pizzo's office for review. And in this instance, we certainly can append the final landscape plan that will be to the satisfaction of Mr. Worsta, Mr. Pizzo, and township staff and consultants, and then that could be included in the association documentation, which is then a public document in addition to the standard record plan, which gets recorded against the property. So there will be a notation in perpetuity as to the tree plantings, and that would be an enforceable condition as against the association as rights to the township.
Okay. Okay, is there any, Joe, I'm going to go to the audience, is that okay? Yeah, so is there anybody that is here to speak for or against the preliminary and final land development for 1186 Byberry Road as presented? Yeah, come on up, hon. take your time and just state your name, and, we'll go from there.
All right, my name is Dawn Fitch. I live at 1164 Byberry Road, so I'm on the other side here. And they mentioned, the shrubs here, but my backyard goes all the way back. And, those three other homes would be going into the backyard if there isn't a boundary set up farther down and fencing for privacy.
Are you more towards Bensalem Boulevard?
I'm on, yes.
Okay, so what she's asking is, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's 4 houses on the side that doesn't have the cul-de-sac, okay? Or in the
Correct.
back of the cul-de-sac? Okay, can there be additional shrubs put along the back 3 lots, or fencing, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's
yeah.
going to volunteer to add shrubbery along the back of those lots, or if you prefer, negotiate for fencing.
Okay, yes. I
Along the
just-
back.
Yeah, I feel that would be appropriate. The folks will be in my backyard with their
Yeah, it'll give you-
families and having picnics. It's just, it's an open area that is our backyard.
Now, does your yard go from Byberry all the way back?
Yes.
Okay,
And
yeah.
and over. My
Nice.
mom's next door to me, too, so we have.
Oh, great.
All that. It's a big area that's open, and.
So in essence, you're asking for the purple dots to go all the way down?
Correct.
You
On
don't,
both the
you don't
north-
prefer fencing over shrubbery?
Well, yeah, I would like, the fencing would be good.
Would be preferred?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so we can negotiate that, right,
We're agreeable with fencing.
Yeah.
Was it one or the other, or are you going to do both?
Yeah.
Any fencing that goes up there, the township would have to approve it, so it wouldn't be approved by them. They would come to township and say, this is what we want to put up, and at that point in time, the township would have to say yes or no.
Okay.
And they're agreeing to it, so we have a right to say, hey, you need to do this, you promised this woman.
Okay.
You got to get it done.
Yeah.
If you decide when you're looking all the way in the back, hey, I'd rather have shrubbery back here, then that's fine too, they'll work it out.
Yeah. and
They're
I
trying to
mean-
do everything they can to make it.
Sure.
I can give you this
E-
contact.
Okay, yeah, I mean, privacy and all that, it's just
Yeah,
the backyard.
yeah, you
with
got a
all
nice
these folks.
place.
All right.
All right, thank you. Is it Mrs. Fitch, F-I-T-C-H?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Okay, is there anybody else who would like to come forward? Yeah, come on.
I'm Rick Diaguano, 1200 Byberry Road, Bensalem, PA. We're on the other side.
Okay.
So, so at the minimum, we would, do you know how big the lot sizes are from the back of the house to my property line?
The lot width?
Right, from the back of the house to where the line? Yeah, how many feet?
The backyard setbacks, you're saying, kind of like?
Yeah, what,
From the first house to your house is about 80 feet. And from the second house to your pool is about 85.
no, no.
Yeah.
I wish it was 80-some feet.
Well, I'm just saying that.
And again, that's our biggest concern.
It's 30 feet here.
It's that 40? I think it's less than, I think it was 30 that we saw. I think it's less than that. So I'm trying to figure out how you're going to get a yard in the back there, plus shrubs, plus a fence, plus my shrubs, and do a rain garden?
Yeah, for lot 1, it says 37.3 feet. That's the first lot.
From the house to the property.
Okay. What's the width of your driveways? Is that one car? Two cars? And no parking on the street?
No parking on one side of the street in the cul-de-sac.
And you can get fire apparatus down there and all? Okay.
Yep.
So at the minimum, we would want the shrubs all the way down the line as well, too, and a fence. So we have pets and we have a pool, and I don't want people wandering into our yard. Plus, we already have a row of shrubs there as well. So I don't see how you're going to fit those shrubs into their backyard.
We have room between the edges of the front yard.
Okay? And what shrubs are going in there?
You probably got one by there's a cypress, something tall, you probably something that was
The
evergreen
cypress are
tall.
gonna get really big.
Yeah,
They'll get,
they'll grow quick.
but they'll get wide.
And along the back of the drainage area, what's stopping, is that going to be high, low? How's that going to be?
Stormwater basins are accurate.
Accurate.
Actually down.
Okay. So what's going to prevent somebody from going in that? Fence, shrubs, more shrubs, something?
Like, is it gonna have water?
No, no, it'll be dry. There may be 6 inches of water. It's essentially dry. It's
So
essentially,
fencing shrubs?
we could fence a portion of it.
Okay.
There's certain portions you can't.
Okay.
You can't fence in the rear, you can't fence where there's a spillway. So there's a portion of it
How
we
about
could fence.
between our property, like on our property line to the,
I guess the
back of the
majority that we
property.
could.
because small children can still drown in 6 inches. Sorry. If there's,
Yeah, if I have to have a fence around my pool,
but
So Rick, are you asking for fencing along that north side of the property and then to further that go up across where the stormwater basin is
yes,
behind your property?
yes.
Would you be agreeable?
He's talking to him.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
And to further that very north back corner on the top of the basin as well.
So the
Like,
property-
so you're essentially fencing in that whole,
well, the neighbor on the other
Property.
side of us has a fence that goes all the way back.
does go, okay.
No,
So the
no, he
Kennedys,
doesn't.
I
No,
think
his
it
ends at
is.
our property.
Well,
Okay.
for our property.
So
it's
that,
back.
that edge is fenced, okay.
A portion of that area, the top of the plan is a spillway, so we can't put a fence there. We can
At
put
the
a-
top, yeah, that's probably why he's.
Portion,
Oh, the top half is a spillway?
a portion of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our client's agreeable to the extent it's not affected by the spillway with respect to the base.
Where's that going to my neighbor's yard?
Okay.
The spillway?
If it
I
were
don't
ever
care, I'm
activated-
just telling you, he's been backfilling back there,
If
so.
it was ever activated, which it probably never will, it would go sort of, let's see, back in the corner.
Can you get up and show on the thing somehow?
Yeah.
While Mark's getting up, the point
Thank
is,
you,
our
Mark.
client's agreeable to a fence on that property boundary, to the extent it's not precluded by the spillway.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't care about that, I was just curious where that's going on my neighbor's lawn.
Okay,
Doesn't come.
So we'll get a fence down the side and up the back as much as
The
possible
L.
with the shrubs?
Yeah, we'll look
And
at
she
what
wanted it
that.
down her side,
what's-
too.
We'll look at what's possible with the spillway. They have no objection to putting a fence there.
Okay.
You know how tall? You have dimensions on the houses yet?
How tall the houses are?
Yeah.
It's compliant, it's, what is it, less than 35 feet, I think is the
They're
cap.
two-story plus whatever the roof is. I'm just, I mean, he's built the twins over there on Mechanicsville. Are they similar to those?
They're singles.
Yeah, I know, but I just didn't,
Do you have a picture of what the final product is going to look like?
I mean.
Do you have
not-
one
not
available?
with me.
Just,
I have a bunch
okay.
of developments I can cite that Marmar's completed, Ava Court, Jericho Estates, et cetera, but I don't have a rendering, but they built
Okay.
very nice homes, and I think if you look at what single-family homes are going for in Bensalem right now, this is, we're optimistic about the amount that these lots will end up selling for when they're constructed.
Right, and it'll increase values in the area,
Yeah.
for sure.
other question is, why did the name change on the application from Marmar to whatever it is now? So it used to be Marmar?
Yeah, every time we came, it was Mar.
It's the same people. It's Byberry is the LP is the official entity that owns the land. The developer's Marmar. It's still the same.
Okay.
I guess and the other question I have, I have a question. This was before building and planning before, and it got rejected, and they didn't have enough votes. So I'm just wondering why it came back here again.
well, building and planning is, the planning commission is an advisory board.
Okay.
So I don't know exactly what happened during planning,
Yeah,
but
there was they didn't have enough
I don't think it got
votes.
rejected.
I don't think it did.
No, it didn't. It got approved, but they didn't have enough votes.
Right.
Well, okay.
I'm just out of curiosity.
Now, we do take advisory sometimes. For instance, the first one on, the client decided because of the comments from the planning commission that they're going to take a second look at the other property that they were considering developing along Street Road. But we take the planning commission's recommendation serious, just like we do for Bucks County or our zoning board, and sometimes there's, people go to court. But we did take that into consideration. Yep.
I think that was it. So what's the next step forward, and who do we talk to as stuff's going on?
Well, you can get Mr. McGinnis's card, okay, and he can stay in contact with you.
Yeah,
Okay.
you'll meet with the developers as they're developing. You'll have the contact person from the developer, Michael. Mike,
Oh,
you'll
she
make
got
sure they have access, so.
Okay. All right, yeah.
And also, there's inspections done by the township through each phase of this.
As it goes
And
along.
then if things aren't being accomplished, they don't get, if it's approved during the escrow process, they come up and ask for releases.
And you could contact the township building and planning, and they would go out.
At least.
You could contact building and planning, and they would come out to make sure everything's being done
Okay.
to spec that they're supposed to be doing. So that's something that you can always do any day. Any day you can call them, they'll have an inspector come out.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for coming out. Okay, is there any other, okay, come on up, you got to come up and ask, yep.
I'm one of the original people that was notified last year,
Okay,
February.
can you identify yourself again? I think I know.
My name is Andrew McArdle. I was one of the original people who was notified. I am Mill Creek Farms. I'm
Okay.
across from Byberry. At that time, as you mentioned, the zoning board denied this action. I was never notified about the Court of Common Pleas or whether the township was actually even represented there. Can you let me know exactly what happened?
Well,
back
Mr.
in April?
Pizzo can answer that question, but, yeah.
Because I didn't even know it was
I don't think it
happening.
was rejected by the planning commission. It wasn't rejected by the planning commission. There was previous iterations.
zoning board on the twins.
I'm talking about February of
Well, that's
last year,
twin- they're
2024.
Okay, let Mr. Pizzo answer in reference.
Sure. Generally speaking, when there is an appeal from the decision of the zoning hearing board, adjacent property owners are not given notice unless you appeared during the zoning hearing and requested party status.
I did. Well, what is it when you actually request the ability to talk at the meeting?
Well, there's a distinction between speaking at a zoning hearing and requesting party status.
Okay.
And I believe at the outset of every meeting, Mr. Panzer, the zoning hearing board solicitor, explains that during each hearing during the zoning hearings, the property owners who are adjacent, as well as the public in general, are given the opportunity to speak in favor of or against an application or to ask questions. However, to be able to ask questions of witnesses in order to receive documentation from a zoning hearing, you have to request party status. So if you didn't ask for party status at the time, then once that appeal was taken, you wouldn't be involved as a party because you weren't a party at the hearings before the zoning hearing.
Okay. Was it a part of the township zoning board meetings? Did that occur in April of this year? Was it known?
So I know it was voted on at a public meeting of council to settle it, and I believe it was also voted on a public meeting. The zoning hearing board solicitor signed off on it. I wasn't there, but I think it was done at a public meeting as well.
Yes, that was early in the year.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Okay. Yeah, we've had several meetings about this ourselves, and this has been going on for a long time. So we tried to, Okay. Seeing no one else in the public come forward, we'll close public comment, okay? So this is a okay, you want to come up, Kim?
Good evening. Sorry to hold you up.
No
I just
problem at all.
want to
I
follow
just
what
didn't- I
Mr.
didn't-
McCardle just said. My name is Thomas Reynolds. I live at 1130 Alberta Avenue on the backside of this property.
Okay, yeah.
I did ask for party status, as did 7 other people. to my knowledge, none of us were afforded any opportunity to speak past that zoning board hearing. So the other attorney was not this gentleman. The other attorney was here, approved us as being a party to the
At
the
this
proposal.
meeting or at a,
At the zoning board.
okay, well, Mr. Pizzo, do you want to?
I wasn't notified
I
about this tonight.
apologize, but I can't speak to that. I wasn't.
Exactly. So I know from past hearings that when notifications are made to the neighbors, whether they're a party or not, it was supposed to be put both in published and also a certified letter out to the,
Well, this has been in the newspaper, this has been on
in the
public.
past, we received a letter to our house.
You're talking about the Court of Common Pleas. We don't put out
Okay.
those certifications
My-
to them.
Mr. McCarl, did you receive any other notification? Not only that, but at that hearing, it was agreed that on behalf of those 8 people, there would be an email list generated, circulated, which is how I found out tonight about this. Otherwise, I wouldn't even know this was happening.
Okay, but you do know it's happening, right? 'Cause
By
you're here.
chance. By chance, the point is,
Okay.
it seems like we're not even following our own
Okay.
our own
All
rules
right,
and policies.
As to this evening's proceedings, this application was actually on the council's agenda for November. Public notice was issued, notices were mailed to all of the adjacent property owners, including, I'm assuming you,
myself.
if you're on that list.
Not to myself, I received all the previous ones.
At that time, the matter was tabled because there were questions regarding the fire chief's review, the fire marshal's review. And so to give an opportunity for council to have all of that information before making a decision, the matter was tabled from the council's November meeting to this evening's meeting. So it was tabled at that time, and at that November meeting, everyone in attendance was told to come, that the matter would be heard again this evening. Also, my understanding from Mr. McGinnis is not only were notices mailed out in advance of that November meeting, but notices were mailed out again in advance of this evening's meeting. Those notices go out by certified and regular mail. And again, I apologize.
So can I see a copy of the certified
from-
letter or the number that was issued to my certified letter? Because I didn't receive one.
Well, he can,
Well,
And you have to keep those if you send them out by certified letter, you'll have those numbers.
and I'm sorry, your name is,
Thomas Reynolds,
and you are at what address?
1130 Alberta. And I was approved by their attorney to be a party to this.
okay, do you
Wasn't
do you have
you,
a,
sir? Another-
Different. So if I can interject in terms of procedural disposition of the zoning hearing board. Generally speaking, when somebody files an application to the zoning hearing board, as Mr. Pizzo stated correctly, individuals can request party status, and it seems like you requested party status
I
to the
did.
zoning hearing board. I was not the counsel at that time on this matter. The zoning hearing board denied the application, and an appeal was filed by my predecessor. An appeal being filed to the Court of Common Pleas does not necessarily meet.
I think I understand. You restarted this from scratch to sidestep the people who had an argument in the first place.
No, so what happens is you file an appeal, and because you were a party, you should have been notified by the other law firm that was involved at the time as to the appeal, right? At that time, nobody, just because they requested party status at the zoning hearing board, is automatically a party at the Court of Common Pleas. What that does is it allows you then to file a notice of intervention or a petition to intervene at the Court of Common Pleas. I wasn't involved then, so I don't know what happened, whether you were notified at that time or not, or whether a notice of intervention was filed or not. But people who are parties to the underlying zoning hearing board matter are not necessarily involved in the Court of Common Pleas. Often, but not always, what happens is if there are neighbors who request party status and the township or the zoning hearing board denies it, the neighbors often do not participate in the Court of Common Pleas case because the township is filing the briefs on their behalf in defense of the denial.
Okay.
So I don't know in your instance whether you were notified by our prior
Okay.
representation, but you would generally file a notice to intervene in the Court of Common Pleas.
Received. Okay.
okay?
All right.
Do
Thank
you have
very
anything you
much.
want to add, like, that, to tell us that you would,
I
you
was
would have
not prepared
said?
because I just found about this today, so.
Okay.
No.
All right, well, I appreciate you coming out, all
Thank you.
right? Thank you. Okay?
He's not on the list.
Not on the list. Okay, so,
I don't think so.
Okay. So, seeing no one else come forward, I mean, I do think that we had a lot of meetings about this and tried to give out the public opportunity to speak about this, but, you know, there's limitations to some point. Okay, so is there a motion for, because this is number 5 on the agenda here, is consideration of preliminary and final development for Wotech Kanuski, care of 1186 Byberry Road, LP, that would take into consideration that we have a recreation fee that's being agreed upon. We have the 4 waivers listed on September 10th, and we have the fire marshal's letter that has to be incorporated, and any comments that are on the May 28th letter from our engineer in reference to I don't see any other request. Joe, there's no other request besides the 4 waivers that they're talking about and preliminary and final, right?
That's my understanding, yes.
Okay, does someone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve, but I need to add a few things. With regards to the waiver request for section 201-106, it was noted that this is a partial waiver, that they are going to try to keep as many trees as possible. The issue there was the obstruction of utilities and driveway. Fencing and shrubbery at the request of the neighbors is important to note, and that will be further discussed. You mentioned preliminary and final, fee in lieu of recreation as a will comply. The fire marshal's request to, I just want to note that it is approved. Final approval is just to include the curb line painted yellow along the entire fire lane. That was the only thing. So everything else was approved by the fire marshal. And in addition to that, we discussed an HOA agreement to maintain the responsibility of the trees and maintain the requirements of the street trees through that process. In other words, property owners wouldn't be able to just go cut down trees. And I believe that I covered things that we've discussed to add.
Okay, Mr. Worcester, do you have anything to add to that for Ms. Benitez?
It's already referenced in our letter and agreed to by the applicant, but there's a traffic impact fee as well.
Right, traffic impact fee.
So we'll
Okay,
add
they're
that
agreed upon.
traffic impact fee as discussed.
Okay,
And this is for 1186 Byberry Road, tax parcel 02-074-110.
okay, thank you. Okay, is there a second on the motion to approve this as presented for preliminary and final?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any against?
No.
Okay, you okay? Mr. Pizzo, you want to add anything to that?
No, other than, just so that the record is clear, the applicant will comply with all of the requirements and comments set forth in the Township Engineer's Review Letter of May 28, 2025, Township Traffic Engineer Review Letter of May 28, 2025, Township's Traffic Impact Fee Review Letter of July 25, 2025, Township Traffic Safety Review of May 7, 2025, and the Fire Rescue Review Memoranda of May 13, 2025, November 2025, 2025, and December 4, 2025. As to the landscaping, the record should also reflect that an amended landscaping plan will be prepared to add and demonstrate the hedgerow, buffering, and fencing as is ultimately determined and as approved by the township. That amended landscape plan will be recorded in the office of the Recorder of Deeds of Bucks County together with the record plans, and will also become a part of the Homeowners Association agreement and Homeowners Association documents for the project. Finally, the waivers are going to be granted as reflected by Ms. Benitez's motion, and I believe that's everything.
Thank you.
Okay, so you're going to amend your motion to
I'll
include
amend
Mr.
to
Pizzo's comments?
Mr. Paizu's comments and additions. Thank you.
You're good with that, Joe, right? Okay, Mr. Polari amended his. Okay, so all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Aye. Any against?
No.
Okay. So it passes 3-1.
Thank you very much.
Okay? Okay, A5. Okay, consideration and preliminary and final development for Gail L. Faulkner, trustee, and Joseph Faulkner, trustee, for 4437 Street Road, the new service building 7 showroom. Are you here on their behalf?
I represent the applicant. My name is Gavin Lebowski. Good evening. With me is Chad Brensinger from Shoemaker. There's some representatives from Faulkner here as well. Rick Stoneback from Charles Shoemaker, the project engineer. We'll keep this very simple. This is the Faulkner project to rebuild the Buick GMC showroom that was destroyed in a tornado in July of 2021. You can see the existing, or the former site showing the sales building, which was solely sales associated with Buick GMC. And in the rear, they shared the service area with the other dealerships on this sort of campus of dealerships. After the tornado, Faulkner, along with the mandates from their manufacturer, are required to build a new building that has both the sales and the service under one roof. The building's proposed at about 39,000 square feet. It's going to have 20-some lifts, 30-some bays. It's going to be a state-of-the-art Buick GMC dealership that Faulkner will be proud of. The area in the back that they used to use as service will be part storage, tires, things like that they need for everyday use. Faulkner's worked really hard with the township and your professionals to get to this point. They're extremely grateful for the accommodations and the work that all the townships put into the changes on Street Road that are proposed, as well as getting this over the line. It's been quite an ordeal for them, as you can imagine, given the devastation that they suffered. But this represents a new chapter with a brand new building. There's very few engineer comments. We have 2 review letters, which are all will complies. Those are dated November 25th. There is a waiver letter with 5 very relatively minor waivers that we're happy to discuss. We can answer any questions that you have about the technical details, but essentially this is just a rebuild of a building that was destroyed, and it's going to operate the same way that it did before in terms of providing sales and service for Buick GMC.
Okay. Just so I can get my bearings,
Yeah.
is the new building in the back right-hand corner of the
We're going
lot?
to show you in a
Yeah.
minute. It's right there, dark black. It's going to be where the foundation of the Buick GMC building was.
Okay.
It's obviously much bigger than the previous building, but again, pulling all of that service that used to be shared in the back building under one roof.
Okay, so the back right-hand building's going to be storage
Yeah.
at this point?
Yeah.
Okay, so making it one facility.
And there's over 200 parking spaces, over 300 spaces for vehicle storage, pretty much the same circulation pattern throughout the site.
And is that Audi and Mazda to the left?
That's Mazda, Volvo, and there's Cadillac also on the same
All way
site.
to the left, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. And what percentage of it is showroom and what percentage of it is?
I think about 13,000 square feet is for the shop, right? The service. So the balance would then be sales and offices and those sort of
It's
amenities.
basically along the back portion is the
Correct.
service area?
All in the back, yep.
Yeah, because there's a lot of driveway back there.
Yeah.
Okay, this is on your property, it's in the middle of the property, so you still have a lot of parking there, so, and Ms. Champion was asking a question earlier in reference to the effect this is going to have with the turnpike. You're not anywhere near where the turnpike's going to take property, or?
Not yet. They had
Yeah.
made some comments a couple years ago about possibly taking some land along there. So what we did when we designed this was to make sure that there were no improvements proposed in the area that they preliminarily identified as possibly being taken. So that's Chad's sort of showing you there with the cursor. That area there was where they gave us notice. So that's staying completely unimproved. It's just got the driveway or the access there.
Okay.
That's going to happen one day, so that's why we didn't put anything in there.
I heard that about a sound wall behind my
Yeah,
house, too.
so-
I have one day.
You're getting it in like 10 years, right?
It's tomorrow, next year supposedly. But, okay, so this is pretty straightforward here. It's in the middle of their lot here. Does anybody have any questions from council in reference to the
I have a comment.
applicant? Yeah.
Your company is a first-class company that does phenomenal things. It's a beautiful site. This is only going to add to that beautiful site, so I think it's a good thing for us to have up there. Out of all the buildings up there, the facilities, you have the nicest facility that's up there. I don't see any reason we would say no to you to do this, especially with what you went through. I was there the day it happened, and it wasn't a nice site. Just make sure you have tornado insurance in case it happens again.
The guys from Faulkner here can commiserate with you. Yeah, tough day at the office.
All kidding aside, but you do, I imagine you guys are thinking already, but the glass in the front of your showroom is going to be tornado thick.
I'll leave it up to people smarter than me.
I was taken back that, we're watching the news and Faulkner Cadillac or Faulkner, and I had a client at the time that lived in the trailer home behind there, and that was affected also, the people in the back there.
Yeah, all kidding aside, it was devastating for the company, and the
Yeah,
people
it was
what they've been
unbelievable.
through has been quite a lot, so they're looking forward to moving on.
Beautiful site, you hire employees, a lot of local employees. These are the kinds of things we need in Bensalem, and to me, it's a first-class organization, so in my opinion, this is something good that you're doing.
I know Faulkner appreciates that, thank you.
They're very good community partners. They do a lot of great things for a lot of the disadvantaged in our community, so thank you.
Okay.
I just have one really weird question. There's all those little dots on that concrete, or what is that there?
The
Over
gray,
one.
the island there,
Yeah, over that way one. Yeah,
Right
that
there.
one. What's all that? It's not trees or anything.
No, it's going to be concrete. I think they're debating whether it's going to be stamped concrete. I think it's just a finish. It's
Just-
concrete. The finish
So they
is-
put that, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, does anybody, any council have any questions in reference to the November 25th letter? Looks like they're doing good with stormwater, and it's going right to planning commission, which approved it. Okay, there's not much on the letter, as you said. Where's the list of waivers that you're asking for?
there's a waiver letter submitted with the application, dated October 16th from Charles E. Shoemaker, Inc.
Do we have that, Joe, or is that, do you see it?
I can run through them if you want. Should be in your submission.
I believe the waivers are listed in Mr. Worster's letter of,
There's not a separate one. I didn't see one.
Yeah, I don't see it.
is that correct, Phil?
Yeah, I don't see it.
What page is it on, do you know? On the 25th, from Ken's?
I believe this one. here.
Subdivision land
Page
ordinance?
2 of 3.
Okay. Oh, zoning ordinance comments,
This is-
sidewalks, non-residential.
Yeah, so this was for, I think, the September 11th letter.
November 25th.
The four comments, and again, I'll let Phil, but I believe the four numbered items under subdivision land development.
201,
all
106.
All speak to waivers.
Okay, okay, I got it.
There's some pretty basic ones. You've got the waiver from the preliminary/final concurrent approval. There's a partial waiver from showing existing features within 400 feet.
Okay,
There's a waiver for the diameter of storm sewer pipe to be reinforced concrete. And then the two sort of substantive ones are that there's a question about whether the vehicle display area along Street Road complies. We think that it complies, but to the extent it doesn't comply, we're asking for a waiver from that section.
and you're paying sidewalks in lieu of?
Yeah, there's a request to provide sidewalk along that frontage along, to connect Old Lincoln with Street Road. It's not really feasible to put a sidewalk in there, given the grade. So
Okay.
we'll do a fee in lieu of that, and a fee in lieu of some of the landscaping requirements. Trees and cars, new cars don't go well together, so we're putting a lot of trees out on the site, but not all of them, so we'll pay a fee in lieu for the difference.
Okay.
How do you feel about a rooftop garden? It's a dream. I mean, come on, let's get with
It
it.
almost happened. Okay, is there anybody here that would speak for or against this consideration for final land development?
I have a question really quickly.
Go ahead.
There was something mentioned in the October 28th letter from the fire department suggesting the address change that's going to be taking place.
We'll
4417 Street Road.
We'll handle that with the fire marshal, whatever
We'll do whatever
they
needs to be
require.
done.
We'll take care of that.
That was the only thing with them. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, is there anybody, if there's no other questions, is there anybody that would like to come forward to speak for or against this proposal at 4437 Street Road? You have another question?
No, I'll tell you later.
Okay. Okay, for the new service building, 7 showroom. Okay, seeing no one come forward, if we have no other questions, does one of the council people want to put a motion forward that we approve this for the Faulkner Group over there at 4437 Street Road with the waiver contingencies asked for in the November 25th letter?
Oh, the motion.
Yeah, motion, if someone wants to put a motion
Sorry,
forward.
I had a headache. So I'll put a motion forward to approve the plan as presented for tax parcel 02-008-006-001 with the waivers as discussed for the trees for fee in lieu of, for the ones not being planted,
Sidewalk.
the sidewalks due to the height and issues, the bollards being in a, what's that word? I'm sorry, being as presented on the waiver request, and then a trash compactor instead of the things, and then also providing fencing or screening for that, and then the stormwater management. No impact fees, Mr. Versta? Just wanted to confirm on that, and am I missing anything, Mr.?
No, the applicant will comply with the comments and requirements of the November 25th, 2025 Township Engineer Review, the November 2025 Township Traffic Engineer Review, the October 28th, 2025 Fire Rescue Department / Fire Chief Review, and the October 28th, 2025 Traffic Safety Review.
Okay, Mr. Pizzo, is there's a impact fee that's on the front page of
That's true, that is on here.
$45,434?
No, that's on the old review letter, I think. There's
From-
there's no impact fee for this.
Okay, and the reason why it was on there or isn't included?
They're not having new traffic impact. It's the same amount of trips that they're going to be having.
So is this an error that was noted on the original one in June, are you saying?
The original one was based upon the whole site, and then we met with the applicant, as they talked about earlier, and talked about what was really going to happen out there with regard to the new facility and so forth, and how it compared to the others.
So this
and-
page should have been updated, and it
Yeah,
was not?
Yes, it was not.
Yeah,
Okay.
but there was a letter.
Yeah, it was in the second
reference
review letter.
regarding all-
We presented a letter explaining the square footage differences between prior and post, and that was adopted by the engineer and included as part of their review letter.
Okay, and you're taking back on some of the back property, the building in the
that's
back is
right.
not going to have the
Yeah.
same amount of traffic.
Correct.
And that building in the back got pretty big over the years.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but, okay, so you're saying that that's not required at this point?
That's correct.
Okay, all right, and it's good we asked about it at least. Okay, so is there anything else, Joe, or are we pretty good besides that?
No, the fees in lieu of trees and sidewalks have been noted, and they will comply with the determinations of the township engineer in regard to both.
Okay,
I'll second the motion.
you have Stacy Champion on the first, and Michelle Benitez on the second. All in favor of the preliminary final development for the Faulkner Group, Gail and Joseph Faulkner, trustee, for 44 37th Street Road. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any against? Any abstains? Okay.
Thank you very
Good,
much.
thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Thank you.
Thanks for working with us, and good luck.
Good night, Mr. Joyce. See you. I'll see you soon.
Taking your car over?
That's friends.
Out. Okay, so 7 and 9 were off the agenda. We have number 8 on the, we're moving right along here. 6. Okay, we have number 9 on the agenda. Oh, I'm sorry, you're right, sorry. Number 8 on the agenda. You're back, Mr. McGinnis?
I'm back. Good
Okay.
evening, Mike McGinnis from Begley Carlin here on behalf of Walter Lesnovic.
Okay, and you're going to explain that you're
I
changing
am.
the zoning?
Yes, exactly. We're here to discuss a proposal to change the subject parcel that John Genovese has just put in front of you for consideration, located at the intersection of Humeville and Galloway Road. This property has had a bit of a history of an evolving zoning designation. It was residential, then it was commercial, and we're here asking the council to rezone this back to residential, and specifically to go from GC to R1. This site was the subject of a zoning appeal that was filed back by Inspire Credit Union when they were proposing locating the credit union on this parcel, which is approximately 0.86 acres. I believe, and we're not participating, my firm is not participating in that appeal, but my understanding is that appeal is still outstanding, and rezoning this property would moot that appeal once and for all. This property itself, as I noted, is about 0.86 acres, and as you can see, based on the location, both with Galloway and Humeville roads, it causes significant issues when it comes to developing anything in a meaningful manner that's consistent with the GC zoning district. Particularly, the property is not deep enough really to facilitate appropriate circulation. So the idea to change the map here and move it to R1 seemed like it was an appropriate starting point for consideration. And then what followed from there was a drafting of a land development and subdivision submission, which is not before you for consideration this evening. That would be before the council for their review and presentation in the 2026 calendar year. But the parcels in the immediate vicinity are zoned R1. This would facilitate, again, a minimum lot size of 12,000 square feet. The school to the rear is zone R11, but the R1 zoning designation certainly seems to be far more appropriate than the current zoning or really anything else that we could have this property zoned to be. So all we're here for this evening, hopefully, is an approval to revise the map, to have this as R1, to bring this into greater conformity with the surrounding areas, and then subsequent, we'll move through the process with the township for the land development submission, the comments, and then the proposed development at that time. So John can go through anything that you'd like, but again, this at this time is just a map amendment request.
And then all residential homes would be backing up to the soccer fields at Bensalem High School, basically?
Yeah,
like
the
other
three homes that we have proposed, again, which we'll have, that'll come before you, the idea is essentially to mirror the homes on Galloway as you go further down the street. And that's what we would end up, hopefully.
But we're not
You-
discussing that really. It's
Yes,
just really-
exactly. That's not
it's
before
just
you.
the zoning.
And we said
yeah.
at the planning commission, I'm sure there will be comments about the plan, and those will be vetted and discussed and presented.
Okay.
But at this point, we're hoping at a base level, everyone can agree that it is more appropriate for this property to be zoned R1 than GC, and then that will
Yeah,
allow us to move
I would
forward.
agree, because they tried to put a bank there, and they want drive-through, and,
Right.
it just doesn't fit. Nothing
Yeah.
fits in there that's reasonable. Instead of stuffing something in there that's not reasonable, you can put something in there that people are going to flock to, probably. Okay, so this is pretty simple also, and it'll come in front of us sometime next year. Okay, so this is consideration of the amendment for tax parcel 020410220002 for general GC to R1. Is there anybody in the audience that would want to speak for or against this change? Okay, seeing no one come forward, is there any questions from council? Or we can hold them till we consider the actual plan. Okay, so if there's not any questions, is there a motion to approve the zoning change as presented?
I'll make the motion to approve the zoning change request for tax map parcel number 02-041-022-002 from GC General Commercial to R1 Residential.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any against? Okay, all right, good luck.
Thank you.
Okay?
Have a good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Feel better?
Good night.
What's a good
night, say good night.
Okay, all right, so 9 is off the agenda, was rescheduled. 10, consideration of a reduced permit fee for the proposed ADA walkway at Struble School. Joe, do you have this?
Certainly. Consistent with the township's policies regarding the same, the school district has submitted a request to the township for a 50% reduction in the permitting fees for the proposed ADA walkway at Struble Elementary School, which is intended to connect the new outdoor learning center located across the parking lot in the wooded area from the school itself. The administration has reviewed the application. The fee for the same is $1,698, a 50% reduction of the permitted and allowable fees that are permitted to be reduced, brings the amount down to $853.25, and the administration recommends the council's favorable consideration of the school district's request.
Okay, this is pretty straightforward also, so is there anybody who has a question about this? If not, is there a motion to approve the reduced permit fee?
Motion to approve the reduced permit fee for Struble Elementary.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Ms. Champion enthusiastically seconded it. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any against? Okay, good. All right, so we're good. Okay, number 10. Number 11, we have a land development agreement and stormwater best management practice operation and maintenance agreement for the development at Byberry 39 LLC, Byberry Woods. Joe, do you have this?
Yes. Some time ago, council approved, and by some time ago, I mean back the better part of 10 years ago, council approved a land development application for the property identified as tax map parcels 233-108, 233-109, and a portion of 233-109-1. The approval was for the requested construction of 39 residential townhome units and a single-family dwelling on the subject property. The applicant, for a variety of reasons, largely having to do with environmental remediation of the site, that took a number of years, as I understand, and then, of course, the intervention of COVID thereafter, resulted in a good bit of the delay. The applicant, or the property owner rather, Byberry 39 LLC, has moved forward to begin construction of the project consistent with the township's policy for projects this old. The Building and Planning Department and the township engineer undertook a review of the plans to make sure that there have been no subsequent changes to any township ordinances having to do with zoning, subdivision, land development, or stormwater management that would impact the plan as was then approved back in 2015. That review has been undertaken. Any required revisions were made consistent with the approval at the time. The record plans have been reviewed by the township and are in a form ready for recording. The land development agreements for the project have been prepared by my office. They are in a form acceptable for your consideration and approval this evening. All of the monies required by the township for the construction of the property, including a very sizable escrow for public improvements, have all been posted with the township, and it is recommended that you give your favorable consideration to the agreements at this time.
Okay.
In addition to the land development agreement is also, as we discussed briefly during the application for Marmar, the stormwater best management practices operation and maintenance agreement for the site as well, which imposes the same requirements on this site as were imposed on the Marmar site up the street.
Okay, and then, okay. All right, so this is Byberry Woods, 39, so land development agreement and stormwater management. We had questions for Ken earlier. He said that all the updated requirements were met. Is there any questions from council in reference to this proposal of approving the land development agreement, best management practices? Okay, so having no questions come forward, okay, is there anybody in the public who want to speak for or against this application?
How you doing?
Good.
My name's John Fluharty. I live at 1199 Alberta Avenue.
Alberta? Right, okay.
I had went over to see if I could take a look at the drawings for the property, and they said they didn't have any. Is there a reason why they wouldn't have had any?
They should have had them, right?
Building and planning?
Building
Yeah.
and planning?
I can't imagine why.
Can't imagine why.
There must have been some miscommunication at the time. The township certainly has land development
Now,
plans
would
for this
would
site.
they also have the results of the remediation from the,
I'm not sure to what extent Mr. Worster might be able to answer better. The township itself doesn't oversee the remediation. That's overseen by the Pennsylvania Department of
no,
Environmental
but would they
Protection.
have a copy of?
But we would ultimately get the thumbs up from DEP that
And that would
the
also
site
be
is
at the
clear.
township?
That's correct. All of that should be at the township building and through the building and planning department. And if you give me your name and contact information, I'll make sure that Ken Farrell, our department head, gets back to you with regard to that. You should have, those plans are available. And like Mr. Pizzo said, the DEP stuff is something that was outside of our boundaries. However, we should have gotten a notice that should be made part of the file.
Oh, okay.
I can't answer for that question specifically, whether that has been done or not.
Right.
But nevertheless, you should be able to see those plans.
Okay.
Okay, if you want to give me your name and
Now, or
address.
should I wait till the meeting's over?
You can do it now, just do it to them, yep. And we'll get you whatever you need, okay?
We'll be in contact tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, would like to come up?
Good evening, my name is Lou Tremarchi, I live at 4924 Bensalem Boulevard.
Right.
Admittedly, I'm coming in very late to the game regarding this site. Just wanted to ask, what was the scope of work for
You're
the...
talking about this site, right?
Correct.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What was the scope of work for the remediation for contaminants? What did that involve?
Joe?
Because there's an email from 2020 that specifically states significantly contaminated. Quote.
In all candor, sir, I don't recall what the nature or scope was. Again, the township's requirement at the time of approval was that obviously the site had to be cleaned up and had to be cleaned up to the specifications of the Department of Environmental Protection. their remediation standards for residential property are significantly greater than they are for non-residential properties. So,
Is there a report that was published to you guys? Was there a report submitted to you guys?
Again, when you say published,
Or submitted?
but
I mean,
There
you'd
is
have to
submitted-
submit some
There is a
proof.
report in the township, right?
I don't know if there is a report in the township or if there is just written confirmation from the DEP to the township that all of its requirements have been satisfied and that the property is clear for that sort of
I mean,
activity in this
you could see
case.
how with stormwater runoff plans, contaminants.
Stormwater runoff plans would certainly be in the township. If the township doesn't have the actual reports itself, and again, Phil, jump in if I'm saying something that's wrong, the township will have records that it's been approved by DEP. You may have to go to DEP to actually see
And
reports
submit a request.
or analyses.
Right. If we have that, we certainly, it should be it should have been available to everybody, so, but I'm not sure that we do have it. The stormwater management was taken care of with regard to that as far as the development goes, but.
Yeah, I'm sure the stormwater management was taken care of to a degree, but again, when you factor it in, compounded with significant contaminants, which was the exact verbatim in the email from McGinnis, it's, it leaves you to ask questions like, what are for them to use the word significant contaminants and not the board to use it, it's got to be bad. For the developer to use the word.
It wasn't like it wasn't addressed, though, because it was going on.
But you don't know it was addressed, you just got an email saying, hey, we're good to go.
Well,
Excuse me,
we have to trust the DEP knows.
Excuse me, Mr. Worsta, I have a question. So part of the stormwater management right now, and I'm just wondering, right now, stormwater, things are coming off of there, and when this goes through the stormwater management plan, it won't be. So if there's stormwater rolling off in the current site, the stormwater management plan will stop that runoff.
Would be an
So that-
improvement.
Well,
So it'll be an
simply be an
improvement on that.
improvement, but with regard to the DEP issues associated with that contamination, I'm not even sure when that specific action occurred.
September 11th, 2020.
So it should have been done at that point.
You would think, I mean-
Should have got an approval to move forward with it, and I'm certain it's within the records. It's just a little bit before my time associated with that.
No,
I'll find,
that's-
we're going to take it.
And they would have to have an approval from the DEP in order to move forward, in order to
Get to
be
this
up
point.
to.
It would just be nice for the neighbors to know,
Yeah,
because as soon as they start excavating, as soon as they start excavating, they're just gonna here comes the rainfall.
Get your contact information to Mr. Worsta, and he can contact you in reference to any information that you need.
And as I know in construction, as soon as we start breaking ground and it rains, all bets are off.
Okay.
Well, they do have a lot of work to do around it before they can, all that.
But they wouldn't be able to do this without that approved, us
Yeah, that
having
can't
something of a written approval saying DEP approved it and everything's good, so.
But wouldn't the neighbors like to know, like, as soon as they break ground?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
hey,
don't-
we're
You'll
about to
see
break
it on
ground, and we don't even know what the significant contaminants were, and neither do you, which,
Phil's going to help you with that.
no, I know I'm pulling this out of thin air from possibly 4 or 5 years ago, and I'm late to the
I
game.
kind of remember what they were, but I don't want to misquote it.
Exactly.
And that's
Yeah,
fair,
I mean-
but you can see where it's like, hey, we're addressing it now, it's
I
fine.
remember
but
as it
the
was
neighbors
going
should
along.
know what's potentially gonna be running off.
They did come in front of us and discuss it, but I
So,
don't.
Mr. Pizzo, this land development agreement would not be coming in front of us if all those types of approvals were not adhered to get to this point.
That's correct. That before
So-
before the development agreements are presented to you, all of the outstanding conditions have to have been met by the property owner or the applicant.
PennDOT if it's a state road.
And so, and as Mr.
DEP
Knowles
and
said,
all.
we would be doing everyone a disservice tonight trying to speculate as to what the contaminants were. It was very much an issue at the time. It was very much a part of the conversation at the time. It was very much a requirement at the time that the property had to be cleaned, and it had to be cleaned to the satisfaction of the Department of Environmental Protection. So all of that was put into place, and again, I know from personal experience, the period of time that it takes to remediate contamination to residential standards takes a number of years. So it's not surprising that this plan was approved in 2015, and it's only now that the property's in a condition ready for
I just find
for
it odd, like,
construction.
I've lived here for 10 years, and you would know possibly better than me, because you have to approve a lot of these plans. But has anyone seen them doing anything to that property? I haven't seen them do anything for that property for like 10 years since I've been here.
You are correct. You are correct. You have a right to see what work needed to be done, when it was done, how it was done, and
Like, I've never seen one truck in or out
I
in
understand.
10 years.
But that's why you have a right to have the notification
Yeah,
as
you
to
know.
what's going on. We don't go out there and watch developments. We don't see the
No,
after product.
I'm with you. I got you.
But we agree that you and the neighbors have a right to know what's going on there, and they should know what's going on. Mr. Wurst will help you get whatever information we can. It's not on the township to advise the neighbors, but if it's available, we'll make sure it's available at the township that any resident can see.
It's not a bad idea for
No,
the
it's a-
township
No,
to
it's a good-
notify the
no,
neighbors. I mean,
no.
you guys do work
No,
for us.
we appreciate you coming up.
I mean, that's kind of a bad statement to say it's not your responsibility to notify neighbors.
The township would do it, not the council.
Okay.
The township
All right.
would do
All right.
it. We don't do it, so don't attack.
I got you.
I'm trying to help you. You're
I appreciate
attacking,
it.
So,
We'll get you all the information you need, okay?
Appreciate it.
No
Thank
one's
you.
going to do anything on the property that's not supposed to be done. It's all part of public record, too, so it's not going to happen if it's not supposed to happen. Okay, so is there anybody else that want to come forward in reference to this? Okay, so if not, is there someone that would like to put a motion forward, or anybody has any other questions from Mr. Pizzo or Mr. Worsta? If not, do we have a motion put forward to accept the land development agreement and the stormwater best management practices for the development at Byberry 39 LLC, Byberry Woods?
I just want to make note that, again, this is just an update to the existing agreement to reflect the current requirements. So I would like to make a motion to approve the developer's agreement for tax parcels 02-033-108, 02-033-109, and a portion of 02-033-109001 for Byberry 39 LLC, as discussed tonight.
Okay, is there anything else, Mr. Pizzo, should be added to that?
No, that's all.
Okay, is there a second on the motion?
I'll second it.
Second the motion. All in favor? Aye. Any against? Any abstains? Okay, so we're good. Okay, so, all right, we have other business. Phil, do you have anything to add?
No, sir.
Okay. Ken, do you have anything to add?
Just been a pleasure to get to know and work with the departing council members. I wish you the best in everything that you do in the future. And Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year.
Yeah, happy holidays, for sure. Okay, Mr. Pizzo, do you have anything you would need to add?
I can only echo what Ken said. It's, this is the last council meeting before next year, so Merry Christmas to all of you. Happy New Year to all of you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, all of the holidays ahead, to everyone in the community. Stacy, Michelle, it's been a pleasure. Mr. Polari, it's been 29 years together, and your service to this community can't be overstated. So, and you've earned a welcome retirement, and wish you all the best in the future.
Okay. I did want to mention real quick that the mayor was ill, okay, and also Mr. Kisselback was ill. Okay, so they both
have the flu.
Both came with the flu. I don't want to
They're not
specifically.
ill, they have the flu.
Okay, well, a flu is an illness, actually, but that's okay. Yeah, Mr. Okay. Yeah, the flu. Okay, so they both do not feel well, separate from each other. But they both don't feel well. this evening. Okay, we did have people come up one after another, so I got a little bit discombobulated. Is there any other public comment that someone would like to come up and say something besides what was already said? Yeah, go ahead. Both of you can come up. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. 1186 Byberry. Tom Panzer approved my party status. I never got a notification for the Common Pleas Court schedule. Did not get notified. So if you could find out why that did not happen, Tom Panzer was the one that approved my party status.
Okay.
According to an email, I have it here.
Okay. Thank you. We appreciate you coming out and getting your...
Good evening. My name's Anthony Williams. I live in the clusters.
Okay.
And probably 3 years ago, some maybe longer, I approached the board about plugging my car in. I live in the clusters. It's a townhouse.
Yeah.
There's no community group or anything. The street is owned by Bensalem.
Right.
There was a discussion, and I was basically blown off. I came back again. Same thing. Mr. Pizzo said, it's time to do something. You have to consider something. I've called the township several times. I've gone there, and all I get is they're working on it. Now, I would like my next car to be a plug-in hybrid. I have friends that have them. I have a neighbor across the street that has a Tesla. There's another person down the street, which he has a garage, so he can put a unit on his
Right.
property.
Right.
And another Tesla owner has a street behind it. In addition to the parking, the public parking, he has parking behind his townhouse where he can plug in his car. I want to know what the status is. I think I'm being stonewalled. Many people are buying these things. I have friends who would never buy one and did, and plug-in hybrids are very common today. And I want to know where do we stand with this?
Okay, well, I don't know what your status was, but I remember you coming up several times. Okay, but you live in a development that doesn't have a driveway and doesn't have parking out front, right?
Yes, I have parking out front.
Yeah, but you have to go, if you plug in from your house,
Right.
you have to go across someone's sidewalk, right?
Right, but it
That's
can
the
be
problem.
it can be tunneled under. I want to be able, you assign handicap spaces. Why can't you assign my space so that I can, at my expense, install a charging station with a kill switch on it inside the house? I mean, I'm being treated as a second-class citizen. That's basically what's happening. Anybody that owns their property, I do, and has a driveway, they don't have a problem.
Right.
Unfortunately, I don't have a driveway.
Right, there's developments, not only you, okay? Not only you as an individual person, right? But there's the coves, there's the clusters, there's several developments at Judson Meadows. When you buy a property in that development, there's an understanding that you don't have parking, okay? So you have shared parking out front, so you're sharing your parking.
It's a public, you own the street.
Yeah, you do own the street, yeah.
The township does.
The
You
township-
plow it, it's maintained.
Right, same thing with, yeah, okay.
All right. But
So-
why am I a second? Mr. Pizzo did say that you should look into it. Obviously, nothing's happened in 3 years.
Okay, well, I don't know.
I
Mr. Pizzo, do you have
mean,
anything to say?
you're the one to make.
I don't think anybody's ignoring you, though, is my point. I mean, we understand that you have a situation, but we can't put individual charging stations at everybody's property that has, in your situation. It's not nothing personally we are
Why
ignoring
not?
you.
If somebody requests it, I'm willing to, and also put it in there that that if I sell the place, it goes with the property.
Well, I see, I never heard that
Doesn't-
that
Well-
I think
part of
there's
it.
a little bit of a disconnect. You're saying that the kill
It's
switch would be...
possibly the future. I mean, it's a political football right now, but there are people buying these things and loving it.
I understand.
I think that the township in general, we've seen a lot more of the charging stations come up in common areas for the public. But in your specific situation, I don't see how we would be able to
Police it.
complete something like that. If you're saying, for example, a kill switch for something that's on our property is inside your residence, if we don't have access to it, that's not going to be feasible. It's just not. We would have to have full access to that device. There's safety concerns, we need
It'd
to
be
have
inspected
access.
just like anything else. It's part of codes.
But
It's
a kill switch being inside of your residence for access is
all
not
right,
something
then I
that
put
we
the
have
kill-
access
I'll put
to.
the kill switch outside.
So the public,
lock
I
on
think
it.
in general, the
But
public
it's
common
up to you
areas
to
are
come
more
up with the-
appropriate.
With the laws.
Okay, well,
the ordinances.
we'll take it into consideration. I haven't seen
Well,
it.
why wasn't it taken into consideration 3 years ago and 2 years
Well,
ago?
Again,
I don't know.
we're presupposing that it hasn't been looked at.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
If it were a
I don't know.
simple solution, obviously,
It would have been done.
There are not, it's been looked at. And as all of you up here have just said, the neighborhoods that were mentioned, based on the fact that they were built at a time when this wasn't a consideration, that there are a host of issues associated, not the least of which is the cost to the taxpayers throughout the township, for creating charging stations within neighborhoods. It has been looked at. At this point, we haven't gotten to the point with the technology versus where we are as a community that the township has a solution that will take care of your individual problem. We're just not there right now. But it has been looked at.
Towns a lot smaller than this have addressed it. I don't quite understand it.
I'd be interested, I'm happy to talk to you, and you can tell me what some of these other communities have done that perhaps we're unaware.
Well, they've at least done public charging.
Well, public charging is different than putting charging stations in individual neighborhoods available to, there's a cost associated. There are any number of issues associated with that, not the least of which is ultimately who's going to pay.
Well, when I initially brought this up 3 years ago, the mayor stated that you were on it and you were installing charging stations. I came back the following year and politely asked, where were they? I drove around, I did not see them. They were supposed to be on township property. I drove through periodically. Nothing coming up in a month or 8 weeks. Following year, when I came back, it was explained that there was a considerable cost involved, that they weren't ready, basically, I'm paraphrasing, weren't ready to spend, that it had to be approved. Nothing's been done since then. I just came back from Chesapeake City yesterday. They have 2 charging stations. The town itself is only 5 blocks, 5 square blocks.
Well, there's public charging stations in front of the supermarket, isn't there?
Huh?
Where the Brookwood Shopping Center isn't there public?
I understand that. But what do I
There are
do,
public
walk there in
charging
a
stations at
snowstorm?
any number of
Come on.
locations within the
Well,
township.
There's some at Faulkner, too.
At
I should
Wawa's.
be-
Outside the Wawas, there's.
I should be able to charge my car in front of my residence like anybody that owns property here. I'm responsible for maintaining my property.
Okay, well,
The fact that you really haven't proceeded with this means you're treating it like you treated it then, a joke.
it's not a joke.
Well, that's the impression I got
Sir, I
3
don't
years
think
ago.
we're treating it as a joke. I think part of the issue is,
I'll let it go at that. My second question is, in the spring, early spring, we were told that PennDOT had approved redoing I-95 at Street Road. We were told there was a meeting, which I couldn't attend. It was supposed to be done during the summer. What is the status of that? And also, something I've brought up at least twice, why haven't they fixed Street Road between I-95 and State Road?
So I actually just looked at this plan online.
Pardon?
So there is a website for PennDOT that has all the projects, and I just recently looked at it because somebody brought this question up somewhere on social media about Street Road. And it was in January 2025, and there's been no update since. This is a PennDOT issue. This is not, we don't have any control over this. And I know Mr. Pizzo can speak very well to that, but as a township and specifically as a council, we can ask, but it's when they get funding, it's when they go through all their processes. So, and Mr. Worsta probably too, it takes time, money, and effort to get all their conceptuals and all the different planning things that they have to do, and that's, so I did recently look at that because I was interested myself, that the last time any updates were made to that website was January 2025 when they first told us, and then they also did, and I did not make that meeting either, and I was interested in it. I had a prior engagement about all of that. I think it was also on the website.
But once again, it was promoted as being a project that was going to be done this summer, this past summer.
With all due respect, Mr. Williams, at no point in time did anyone sitting up here ever tell the public that the I-95 interchange at Street Road was going to be done this summer. That was never communicated to the
No,
public
the
by
mayor said
anyone up here, I can assure
they're
you.
finally going to put it in slip ramp.
There was a slip ramp over Street Road that was supposed to.
That was part of the conversation at the council
There was a
meeting.
slip ramp.
I could add a little
Yeah, go ahead.
clarity to that. The Street Road slip ramp is a PennDOT project.
Right.
It's going to connect at Virginia Avenue, right in that
Right.
location, as
Yeah.
a new slip ramp onto 95. That is in design, and it's a PennDOT design, and it takes years for those types of things to happen. So that is being worked on, but it's all in PennDOT's and their consultants' design shaped stable right now. So that's a few years in coming.
Well,
But
we were
but they did-
misled.
But they did have a meeting, and they, out to the public, and talked about it. I don't know who might have attended from it. It was a virtual
Right.
type of meeting. And it's moving forward. It's one of those things that it's PennDOT, you're just going to have to wait to their schedule. And the same thing with Street Road and State Road in that area. It's the same thing. PennDOT has a project that's going from Bristol all the way down State Road, and it takes some time. And we have flooding issues and that sort of thing that we've gotten PennDOT
Right.
to address. So they're taking, they're taking care and consideration of that, but there's no time frame as far as when that specifically is going to be done.
We were led to believe,
45 years, PennDOT has been redoing the Street Road I-95. They've done nothing. It's PennDOT. PennDOT put something out there and they just sit. The township doesn't have control of any of that.
I understand that, but as I've said before, and I'm not being smart about it, is you represent me. When I first moved to this township in 2000, there was a problem with Bensalem Boulevard and Bridgewater. I called the township building several times, no response. I called Senator Tomlinson's office. He sent somebody down, discussed it, brought your township people in, and they fixed the problem. That simple.
Right,
But yet, you should have been doing the work for me. I shouldn't have had to go to Senator. You represent me. And there's one other place. A street road from Route 1, the new construction project. It is nothing but one pothole filled in by another, filled in again and again down to Faulkner. And this is probably the third time I've brought that up. And I mean, I had a pickup truck. I lived next to a dirt road 70 years ago. Yes, I'm showing my age. In farm country, the dirt roads were better than that section of road. It's horrible. And you should be pushing PennDOT to do something.
All the things you're
I can't do it.
Again-
you're talking about are administrative. It's the township, not the council. The council doesn't approve those plans unless they come
I
in front of us.
understand that.
So you're yelling at us for something that we have no
No,
hold over.
you represent me.
No, I don't represent you with the administration
PennDOT
represents
stuff.
you
Well,
with PennDOT.
then why hasn't the administration done
Go
it?
ask the mayor,
Again,
not
Mr.
the
Williams,
store, ask
you're
them.
presupposing, the people sitting up here travel these same stretches of roads that you do. The complaints are sent to, they're sent to the state representatives, to the state senators, asking them to share it with PennDOT, as well as them coming directly from the township. At the end of the day, the highways are the state highways. Not only does the mayor complain about the condition of Street Road, but sections of Street Road where you're talking about where the shoulder of the road doesn't get cut by PennDOT for months at a time, and the grass grows this high. But it's theirs. It's not the township's.
Well, then where's our representation?
Well, again,
Is it Congresswoman Tomlinson?
Certainly.
I mean, somebody has-
And they take the complaints to PennDOT as well. But ultimately, just as Mr. Polari's saying, it's the administration. Ultimately, it's the state administration. Ultimately, it's PennDOT that dictates all of the things that you've been talking about, save one. All of the things that you've been talking about while you've been up at the podium have to do with state highways, have to do with the design of state highways, have to do with the repair and maintenance of state highways. It's all through PennDOT. And you can certainly reach out to the governor's office, to the PennDOT offices on your own as well. But I assure you that the township is registering complaints routinely, and every time we hear something. And again, what you're saying today will be shared with the mayor's staff tomorrow. Mr. Worster will be in contact with the regional director of PennDOT tomorrow to let him know that we heard yet again about the conditions of these roads, that we heard yet again about the amount of time it's taking for them to move forward with projects that are wholly theirs.
Well, I worked for a television station for 47 years. It seems strange to me that they could get things done that people that live in the township can't. I mean, why does it have to be you embarrass somebody locally, such as you, and go to a television station and they suddenly get action? It happens every day of the week. It should not be that way.
Well, perhaps channels 3, 6, and 10 can get in touch with PennDOT's regional office and get some action on the things that you've talked about.
That's the tail wagging the dog, but okay.
Okay, appreciate you coming out, okay? Okay, is there anybody else that would like to come forward?
Again, Lou Tremarchi, 4924 Bensalem Boulevard.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, clearly, some of us don't know the processes and which administrations or who's supposed to take care of what. But on Bensalem Boulevard, the school zone at Struble, right?
Right.
It's happened a couple times to people I know. It's happened to me. You come to the light, if you're coming off of 13, going up Bensalem Boulevard.
Right.
Sometimes there's traffic that backs up at Bridgewater, right? You're sitting in traffic and you're like, WTF, and then you finally get to the light and you go, right? You don't realize you're in the school zone. You've been sitting there for 2-3 minutes, and you go. The school zone lights are behind you. There's nothing kind of like a reminder, hey, you're in a school zone. It's happened to people I've known. It's happened to my family. It's happened to me. You just forget because you've been sitting at that light, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I'm in a school zone. I'm going 25, 30 miles an hour by the time you realize it. And also on Bridgewater, coming out of the neighborhood, there's nothing.
Bridgewater from Maple or Bridgewater from
Yes.
Ford?
Coming from the small neighborhood where you're not allowed to cut
So
through.
there is a small light there, but I would, there is. Coming from up, you make the left off of Maple onto Bridgewater and then a right or.
Wait, say that again? Tell me
No, you're
the cut through,
coming out.
the cut through from 13.
Yes, that's Maple Avenue.
I don't think there's a,
It's, and then you go up, there is a
I think
thing
there
that's
is
saying there's a school
there's a
sign.
Did they just
It
add
may
it?
not be a light, but there is a sign there that says school zone ahead, something.
may be
It
overgrown?
May not be the flashing, but I am
And
almost
that whole
positive.
area has been looked at pretty good because
Right.
we had an unfortunate accident there couple of years ago, but we can look at that and see whether there needs to be more signage along there. But I think there are, you got to be aware that you're in a school zone. I mean, there's a school.
No. I'm not
And there
saying
was-
people aren't aware. Because
understand.
99.9% of people, yeah, like you're sitting at that, I live on Bensalem Boulevard.
So you're
I'm
asking for a
always-
light, a school zone thing, on a flashing light on
In
the,
the
next to the light itself?
Or in front where the school's at, because where the light is at, once you pass the
And
flashing light.
again, and I hate to sit here and continue to say PennDOT, 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 but ultimately, PennDOT issues a permit for that intersection, for the signalization and signage of that intersection. And PennDOT has a set of specifications that, Mr. Werster, are every bit as thick as this pile
I
of
get it, but those are
papers.
minimum
I'm just saying.
expectations.
Well, no,
Building
no.
codes are minimums.
No, the PennDOT,
I get it, but compliances are based off of minimums. Your whole entire building standard is a minimum, because you can always build above the standard.
No, because that's not-
again, you're
it's not our
presupposing
responsibility.
something that's not necessarily correct. PennDOT dictates, and sometimes what they do regarding guardrails, which are now called guide rails, and they're called that for legal purposes, I assure you. You know, what we all think there should be a guide rail along a stretch of road, PennDOT says, no, quite the opposite. They don't want that there for whatever their reasons are, whether they're engineering or whether they're liability. But PennDOT in turn determines, for a school zone especially, how far from the school the signs are supposed to be, what height they're supposed to be, what you know, all of that sort of stuff is
Requirements
dictated
don't change.
by PennDOT. If
Guidelines don't change, updates don't happen, things
Okay,
like
well,
this
we-
don't happen.
and if they do, PennDOT directs it.
And there's no disrespect,
Okay.
I don't mean to be
We'll-
like,
we'll look
we're just
in-
gonna look at it and whatever. I'm just saying, like, as a resident that
I
travels that
appreciate
street
your-
every single day.
I
and I've
appreciate
seen
your
people do
input.
it.
We'll look at and see whether any additional signage can be put there. That's
And
all. We'll try to see.
One
what we
more,
can
I
do.
have a question. Why is that cut through 213 restricted between certain hours?
Because exactly what you said,
Is it because of the school zone?
yes.
Yeah, and also because of the neighborhood and getting out onto Bristol Pike.
And
is
also tr-
difficult to make a left or
Well, not
right,
even, like, the people going into the,
Maple Avenue.
going up into Ford Road for the,
Because I got pulled over for making a cut through there. And the
Yes.
officer was like, oh, how would you like it if people were speeding down your street every day? I was like, funny you said that. I live on Bensalem Boulevard. You think you could do the same patrol on my street? Because they're going 100 down mine.
I'm right in Glen Ashton, so I
I'm just,
understand what
you
you're
know,
saying.
so I'm just
And I will
curious
say that.
why that whole cut through's even there.
Yes.
You know.
When I've called the township myself, related to a tree blocking a school zone flashing light, the township came right out and did cut that tree back.
Okay.
So
That's exactly,
that's the
I don't
one,
remember seeing, you know, at the time.
not on Maple Avenue, the one on Bensalem
Oh,
Boulevard,
okay.
as you approach the light coming from 13. There was a tree there that was blocking that a few years ago, and the township was made aware, and they did come out within a day or two. So they are proactive on the things they can.
got
I know,
you.
it's almost halftime.
Okay, all right, thanks a lot, thanks for coming out, all right? I'm going to close public comment, if that's okay, I don't see any other comments. Okay. Other business continued. Ms. Benitez, did you have anything to say?
I do. I just want to thank you all for your love and support. True mentorship. I've gained so much experience and skills and made so many friends along the way during this journey. And I just really appreciate knowing all of you, your dedicated service to this community. I feel like we've been a really great team. We've accomplished a lot. And I'll say a Dr. Seuss quote. Don't be sad that it's over. Be happy. Be smile because it happened. And I kind of leave you with that. And I'll be seeing you. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Champion, do you have anything to say?
Merry Christmas, thank you, and yes, I do have something I want to say.
Go ahead.
I wrote it down because I would forget.
ahead.
So I want to say thank you to everybody for the honor of allowing me to serve. My time in elected office may be coming to a close for now. My dedication to this township is far from over. I've been involved in this township since I was a child with my parents, and I will continue in our teaching our children to be servants to the community. We are trying to instill that. I will always continue to speak up about the direction our community is heading in and advocating for the best interest of our residents, just as I've always done before on office, holding office. I always will remain committed to ensuring that the safety of our residents and visitors always comes first, and that decisions made with real consideration for financial pressures that many families face, that raising taxes should never be a first answer, and I'll continue to voice concerns when policies risk placing additional hardship on our community. The one thing I want to reiterate, because I know that this is a very divisive time in our world, that I hope every member of council remembers that the responsibility that as you're sitting up here, and I've been well reminded and have appreciated all the respect that our residents and our fellow council members deserve dignity, fairness, and respect, and I will always speak when I do believe that they are being not upheld. It's been a privilege to serve our township, and I look forward to continuing to be an active voice for our township and our residents. And thank you all. Mr. Polari, thank you for your 29 years of service here, and I know that you are a very valued member of our community, and I am very proud to have served up here with you. Mr. Knowles, it's been a joy. I'll miss seeing you on a bi-monthly basis, but you will not rid of me yet. And Mr. Paizo,
You'll be
thank
around.
you
You'll be around. Okay.
for all the mentorship and all the learning.
Mr. Polari, do you have anything to add?
Yes, I'd like to thank the member of the boards working together. It's been a wonderful thing. 29 years. I'd like to thank the voters for supporting me, the people of Bensalem. 15 years as a volunteer fireman here in Bensalem, 29 years on this board here, and I'm not going anywhere. So thank you very much. I'll still be here to fight for the residents and the things that are going on. I'm not going away, so thank you very much, and thank you to the board.
Okay. You're still in the middle of Eddington, right? Okay, Joe. All right.
A race course, 1 hour, people walking down my street.
Yep. Okay. With that, I'd just like to mention that we're going to have a council reconvenes on January 5th, 2026 for our reorganization meeting. Again, it was a happy holidays, everybody. Happy Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. I hope everybody enjoys their holiday. Take it easy. I would like to, we already gave out the plaques, but it was a pleasure and honor serving with Mr. Polari and also our other past council people, and then Ms. Benitez and Ms. Champion have been a pleasure to deal with and work with, and I'm sure you're still going to be around, and we'll still have our same community to look after. Okay, so I appreciate all your
Tree lighting.
active membership in our community. When is the tree lighting?
Saturday, 5 o'clock.
Saturday, 5 o'clock is the tree lighting, okay? With that, if anybody...
Here at the Township Building.
Yeah, here at the Township Building, tree lighting, 5 o'clock on Saturday. Okay, with that, we'll commence. Thank you.